Speaker. My question is to the Minister of ACC and asks, why does there need to be a review of ACC's sensitive claims clinical pathway to determine whether or not survivors of sexual abuse are receiving timely decision-making and services?
Mr. Speaker,
Honourable Dr. Nick Smith.
Changes were made by ACC in the way it manages sensitive claims in response to new Massey University guidelines launched by the Honourable Steve Mahari in 2008. I have been extremely reluctant to interfere in the clinical practice issues in such a sensitive area, but in response to concerns from counsellors and psychotherapists, agreed to establish an independent clinical review.
Lynne Pillay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Why does the Minister continue to say that he is focused on delivering to victims of sexual abuse when clinicians, victims and Massey University have all repeatedly told him that the guidelines he introduced failed to deliver timely services, such as the 15-year-old reported today who was raped and is still waiting after 4 months?
Mr. Speaker,
Mr.
Speaker, there have been professional groups like the New Zealand Association of General Practitioners who have issued a statement strongly in support of ACC's pathway for dealing with sensitive claims. If the member has a particular case of which she has concerns, I would invite her to refer that to Dr. Barbary Disley, a very respected former mental health commissioner who is to lead the review. I have to say I'm disappointed that the member was not interested in even being consulted on the personnel or the terms of reference for the review.
Dr. Jackie Blue.
Minister, what trend has there been in ACC's acceptance rate of sensitive claims since 2000? And can the Minister confirm that 2,400 claims were rejected in 2008 by the previous government?
Honourable Dr. Nick Smith.
The member makes a very good point. Between 2000 and 2008, the rejection of sensitive claims grew from just 5% to 41% in 2008. And the member Annette King, who shouts out about caring, where was she? What did she do, or Lynne Pillay, when 2,400 sensitive claims was rejected in 2008? They were silent, and that shows that this is simply about opposition politics rather than a genuine care for people who have been sexually...
Point of order, the Honourable Jerry Brownlee. Order.
Mr. Speaker, this question relates to matters that are extremely sensitive, that I think the Minister is doing his best to answer. It doesn't help when a Labour frontbencher is crawling across the House, you are a liar. And I think the Honourable Ruth Dyson should be asked to apologise for making those comments.
Because I did not hear that, I'd have to ask the Honourable Member, did she make that interjection?
So I
would ask her to withdraw and apologise. And I'd ask members to be... I realise this is it is an issue over which people have very strong feelings, and that's why I don't insist on silence, because I don't think this is a place of passionate debate. I felt the Minister was handling the level of interjection pretty competently, and that's why I didn't interfere, but that kind of interjection is unacceptable. Lynne Pillay, supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Was the decision to deny sexual abuse victims counselling part of Deputy Prime Minister Bill English's directive to cut low-value spending? And just how long will it be before the Minister realises he cannot continue to cut services to people without disastrous consequences?
The Honourable Dr. Nick Smith.
I have made abundantly plain to ACC that I have no expectations of any cost savings in respect of this area of sensitive claims. I have had no involvement in the changes that have been made in this area, and members opposite know that. They are based on the clinical guidelines of Massey University launched by the Honourable Steve Mahari in 2008, and the claims from the member are simply incorrect.
Lynne Pillay.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Why would ACC host another costly workshop advertised on the 7th of May to explore gaps in services that have arisen because of these guidelines? And if the Minister's own department knows there are gaps in services being provided to sexual abuse victims, why doesn't the Minister?
The Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, this government is determined to ensure that those are people entitled to receive ACC cover in this highly sensitive area of sexual abuse or assault receive the care that they need. That is why on Monday I announced an independent clinical review. I think it speaks volumes about the member when I offered to consult with her both about the membership and the terms of reference for the review that she said she wasn't interested. She just wants to play politics in this sensitive area.
Point of order, Lynne Pillay.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I seek leave to table an email advertisement from ACC about their workshop identifying gaps in services for victims of serious assault.
Leave is sought to table that document. Is there any objection? There is no objection.
Thank you.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
How does the Minister account for the fact that in October 2008, 300 victims of sexual abuse were approved for counselling, and by February this year that had dropped to 6?
The Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
The member's numbers are quite incorrect. They are not true. And I would ask that member, if he wants to make politics out of something as tragic and difficult as sexual abuse and neglect, I would point out to
Point of order,
her...
the Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Point of order, Mr Speaker.
Order. A point of order has been called. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Speaker, the Minister answering the question is not answering the question. He embarked on a diatribe about me making politics. I asked a straight, factual question. He should address it.
Order. Order. The Minister did answer the question. In fact, quite specifically, he actually said the members' figures were wrong, but he shouldn't have gone on from that point, because it was correct. The question wasn't loaded with political comment, but the answer was that the Minister considered the members' figures wrong. We now come to questions to members. Question